Next, calculation of a formal charge, that is Q. So what is a formal charge? A formal charge is the difference between the valency electrons of free atom to the valency electrons present in that atom when it is present in the molecule. So it is the Q is the difference between the valence electrons of a free atom to valence electrons of atom, that same atom in molecule or Lewis dot structure, molecule in a Lewis dot structure. So the Q is the difference between the valence electrons of free atom to valence electrons of that atom in molecule. So this can be uh, explained by taking the formula, that is Q equal to number of electrons in atomic state minus number of electrons in lone pairs minus half into number of electrons in bond pairs. The formal charge is Na is the number of electrons in free atom, number of electrons in lone pairs in the molecule, number of electrons half into number of electrons in bond pairs, number of electrons in bond pairs. So if you take example, if you see the formal charge on the molecule, I am taking N2O molecule. If you write the structure for N2O molecule, the structure is like this, we can write. So in the Lewis dot structure, here two electrons, oxygen is the sixth group, so 6 electrons, nitrogen is the fifth group, you can write 5 electrons. So here also I am writing 5 electrons. So first these 2 electrons forms a bond, and these 2 electrons forms a bond, these 2 electrons forms a bond. And next this nitrogen, these 2 electrons donated to this atom. These 2 electrons donated to this atom. So I am this electron writing here. So these 2 electrons writing this side, donating dative bond. So I am again writing this N, here 2 electrons, 4 electrons, here double bond, N, here double bond oxygen, 2 electrons. So if you see, this is a nitrogen A atom, this is nitrogen B atom and oxygen atom. Formal charge on nitrogen A equal to formal charge on nitrogen A atom, that is the formula number of electrons in free state. Nitrogen is the fifth group, so 5 electrons minus number of electrons in lone pairs in the molecule. These terms are in the molecule, this is in the free atom. So the number of lone pairs in the molecule 2 plus 2, 2 lone pairs. Number of electrons in the lone pairs you can take. Number of electrons in the lone pairs. So how many 2 lone pairs mean? 4 electrons minus half into number of electrons in bond pairs. Number of electrons in bond pairs mean around this nitrogen how many bonds? 2 bonds. So each bond carries 2 electrons. So minus 4. So 2 to the 4. So if you simplify this, we will get to that minus 1 we will get. So the formal charge on nitrogen A is minus 1, and similarly formal charge on nitrogen B you can see, that is the number of electrons in free state is 5 minus number of electrons in lone pair, there is no lone pair, so 0 minus half into number of electrons in bond pairs, there are 2 both sides there are 4 bonds, so each bond carries 2 electrons, 4 to the 8 electrons. So if you simplify this, so you will get to plus 1. So formal charge on Nb is plus 1. And similarly if you see for oxygen I am writing here, for oxygen the number of valence electrons is 6 minus the number of electrons in lone pairs, there are 4 electrons minus half into number of electrons in bond pairs, so 2 bonds mean 2 to the 4 electrons. Now we will get to 0. So this oxygen carries 0 formal charge. Next to the finding hybridizations for some molecules. For example, I am taking SF4 molecule, SF4 molecule, finding hybridization. So first you see the central metal, central atom. The central atom is the sulfur, which is having less number of atoms, is a central atom generally. So sulfur, first you see that the sulfur belongs to which group? Sulfur belongs to sixth group. So write 6 valence electrons, 1 2 3 4 5 6. There are 6 valence electrons, and there are 4 fluorines. Each fluorine forms one bond with one electron. So each fluorine one bond of sulfur with one electron. So here fluorine, here fluorine, here fluorine, and here fluorine. So then remaining 2 electrons make a bond lone pair. So there are total bond pairs. So bond pairs equal to 1. The number of adjacent atoms equal to bond pairs always. So bond pair is equal to number of adjacent atoms. Adjacent atoms. The number of adjacent atoms you can consider, that is bond pairs. Now there are only 4 fluorines, 4 bond pairs, and also number of lone pairs, so 1 lone pair. So total pairs equal to 1 plus 4 equal to 5 pairs. Total pairs 5 pairs. So the hybridization must be, the intermixing hybridized orbitals must be 5. So here total pairs 5 mean the intermixing hybridized orbitals must be 5. So you can take hybridization sp 1 plus 1 2 orbital, sp2 mean 1 plus 2 3 orbital, sp3 mean 1 plus 3 4 orbital, sp3d you can take, sp3d if you take 1 plus t plus 1, so plus you can take 1 plus 3 plus 1 should be equal to number of total pairs. So the hybridization of this molecule is sp3d. Hybridization of this molecule is sp3d. So if the hybridization is sp3d, then the shape should be trigonal bipyramidal. Trigonal bipyramidal. Generally trigonal bipyramidal is the geometry. You can take geometry is the trigonal bipyramidal. So central atom sulfur, here you can take trigonal bipyramidal structure. It is like this. So this is the trigonal bipyramidal shape. The real trigonal bipyramidal is this. But really there are, if you see, there are only 4 bond pairs, 1 lone pair. So always in the trigonal bipyramidal shape, these 3 bonds are equatorial bonds. These 3 are equatorial bonds. E mean equatorial. E mean equatorial. And above and bottom is axial bonds. Above and bottom are A equal to axial bonds. So the lone pair causes more repulsion. So here if you see, the in between equatorial positions, the angle is here 120 degrees. In equatorial position, the angle is 120 degrees. But the angle between axial and equatorial, so if you see, angle between equatorial and equatorial is 120 degrees, and angle between axial to equatorial is 90 degrees. Axial to equatorial 90 degrees, and axial to axial is 180 degrees. Axial to axial 180 degrees. So if you keep a lone pair at equatorial position, there are less repulsions, because the bond angle in between equatorial is 120 degrees. It is more angle. So that's why if you keep lone pair at equatorial position, less repulsions can be exist. So in the always in trigonal bipyramidal structure, the lone pairs are exist with sp3d hybridization. Lone pairs are exist always, or those lone pairs all keep in the equatorial position. Always lone pairs keep in equatorial position because less repulsions. less repulsions. So so lone pair should be keep in the equatorial position. So one of the equatorial position, this position is occupied by the lone pair. I am writing lone pair is here. One lone pair is here. That is the 2 electrons. Now the remaining bond pairs are in other positions. So this shape is called seesaw shape. This shape is in the 2-dimensional. If you see, this is like K shape. So but in 3-dimensional, if you see, this is the seesaw shape. Seesaw shape. So this is the seesaw shape. If two lone pairs are present, you write here and here and here 3 bond pairs. That is T shape we will get. If 3 lone pairs will come here you keep, and here bond pairs. That is the axial. So SF4 molecule is a seesaw shape.